Hi, and it's Sue here from Inspired Messages, and welcome to my March edition of my astrological forecast. And yes, I'm home. As you can see, I've got my usual backdrop behind me with my spring daffodils. It's a lovely day today. Sun's out. It's very cold, and not at all I'm used to because I've come back from 31 degrees. But anyway, we have to move on. Change is important, and in a way, yes, it's nice to be back. Very different. It's very different. And I have to say, I had lots going on. We had burst pipes when we got back. The phone's not been working, the landline, and we've also had problems with the plumbing, with the toilet. So yeah, we've had our three things. So I suppose that's what happens when you go away in the winter. Anyway, as I say, welcome to March. And March is, you've probably heard maybe from other people, March is a huge month astrologically, because lots of planets are moving into other signs. So we've got Saturn moving from Aquarius into Pisces, and I'll go back over that in a bit, and that will be till February 2026. So quite a long time, really. It's almost 3 years, and the long-awaited, exciting possibilities of Pluto in Aquarius also this month. And we also have the spring equinox, and the new and the full moons. So lots going on. And also Mars leaves the sign of Gemini, where it's been for an extended time since last August, due to it going retrograde, and then going, forward again. And so it moves this month into the sign of Cancer. So we know we're actually going through some kind of upheaval, and sometimes it's really difficult to keep to keep on a high vibe. Sorry, I always get a frog in my throat when I start talking because I do a lot of it. That's because I've got Gemini, Moon, Virgo rising, so I do love to do it. But yeah, it does kind of affect me. Anyway, yes, we're going to lots and lots of upheaval. It is difficult to keep on a high vibe. So hopefully you have people around you who can help you to keep positive, and people who are on your wavelengths, because we're going through this massive change on planet Earth. And it's not like one week it's this way and another week it's happened. It's like so slow, and so we're having to live through it, and we're having to keep, really positive. And it's going to be okay, but we do sometimes get pulled down. Um, when we're not feeling right, especially if we don't feel very well as well. So it's really important to do nice things for yourself and make sure that you have work-life balance, you have time with your family, etc., etc. But I think it's also important for us all to clear away things that are no longer working in our lives. Um, and that could be to do with career, your work, your relationships, health and well-being, and also maybe where you live. And these planetary energies that are coming in March, I think will help you. It is important to go with your intuition and gut feeling at this time. It's so important to not go against the grain kind of thing. So it's about being brave. It's about moving forward. And as mentioned last month, I think Anne might have mentioned it the month before, I think I did. Jupiter is whizzing through Aries, and so opportunities will present themselves for you to make these changes. But don't let the opportunities pass you by. You need to make the most of them. If you work towards your changes in your life and the door's open, you're meant to be going in that direction. So that's kind of one of my maxims. You know, if you've got, you know, it's really difficult and you're pushing, sometimes it's not the right direction, and you maybe need to look in another direction and go on another path. So think about all that, and as we go through the month, um, with the transits, I'll tell you, you know, the ones that are going to help you move forward at this time. So on the 2nd of March, Venus is actually going to conjunct Jupiter, and Venus conjunct Jupiter actually brings romance and love. And if you're single, you may meet that special someone. Venus and Jupiter are always lovely together, and Jupiter always expands what it touches. So Venus is about romance. It's also about relationships, about money, and friendships. So there's likely to be opportunities for a nice social time. So there might be birthday parties, for instance, or any other kind of party, I mean, even a wedding. But this is a great transit actually to be with friends and enjoying a social time. And on the 2nd, Mercury will join up with Saturn as well. So that's really good for concentrating on any written work or plans, because Mercury is about communication and Saturn is structure. So if you need to do a presentation or write something up, or write in a book, or so anything like that would be really, really good to use that energy. And so that's on the 2nd. On the 6th, the Sun is going to sextile Uranus, and a sextile is an easy aspect. And so the Sun sextile Uranus could bring an unusual day. Unusual things might happen. You might meet somebody that's quite off the wall, or you might say is eccentric. But this transit often brings imaginative, inventive, and ingenious ideas. And it also brings independence and freedom. That's also highlighted, you know, the need to be free, which it's a little difficult at the moment, you know, around the world, because lots of things, we feel like lots of things are stopping us from being free. So you will, you know, because it's a sextile, you will have the opportunity to feel that freedom. Now on the 7th, we're going to have the Virgo full moon. Okay, so obviously the full moon and the new moon, they span 2 days or 2.5 days. So it's really the 7th and the 8th, and so Virgo, you know, it's always about clearing your clutter. It wants order. And that actually then leaves the space for new things to come into your life. And, you know, I've talked about moving on. And so this this could really help, this full moon, because full moons are about getting rid of things that are no longer needed or useful in our lives. So I think this would be, you know, if you want, you know, spring's coming. So, you know, we always feel like a bit like clutter clearing anyway. And so even if you're not thinking of moving at the moment or doing anything new, or even decorating your bedroom or anything like that, it's a really good time with this Virgo full moon to clear the clutter. And Virgo is also about healing, and it's an earth sign. So this is about natural, holistic medicine. You know, that's what it's about. It's not about going to the doctors and getting some kind of, you know, help from them. I think it's about looking after ourselves and taking responsibility for our own health and well-being. That's really, really important. Um, and so ask yourself, you know, what do I need to do to take better care of me? You know, is it diet? Is it exercise? what bad habits have you got that need to change? They're all part of this. Also, Virgo is about service and helping others in the community. So that also can be a possibility, helping people that are less kind of fortunate. So also at the same time, 7 to 8, we're going to have, just after the Virgo full moon, we're going to have that Saturn moving into Pisces. So this is one of the biggest cosmic events of 2023. All astrologers are talking about it. And Saturn has been moving through Aquarius since December 2020, but it's now making its way into Pisces, and it's going to remain there until February the 14th, 2026, which I mentioned earlier. So it's going to be in there for 3 years. And the Saturn in Pisces, it's really not an easy position, as Saturn wants boundaries and structure and order. And Pisces likes to be fluid and have no boundaries at all. So it will be interesting to see how this pans out on the world stage. But as Pisces is about water, we may see connections to our oceans. We may see flooding, on a grand scale. And I think there are massive floods at the moment in New Zealand. And people are really, really struggling. There might be issues around floods, and dams and the containment of water. We'll have to wait and see. Interesting, because we've had, since we got back, we've had it made me think all these things that are connected to water. We had a flood, and it affected the burst pipe was on top of the phone line, so it stopped the phone from working. It's still not working. And then we have the plumbing with the outside with the drains. So it's all to do with water. And so it's kind of interesting that we have this Saturn in Pisces, and we will be feeling it already. It doesn't just happen on the day, so it's already upon us, kind of thing. So what other things could it affect? Well, it could be that we may see inventions, because this is a 3-year transit. We might see inventions of how to clear the pollution in our oceans, maybe. And I have heard that there are people that are doing, young people that are kind of inventing ways to help with the plastic in the oceans and how to dissolve it. So that was quite interesting. And how to use salt water from the sea as drinking water. And we may see information about how contaminated the tap water is around the world, and how to change it. And that will be using this Saturnian energy, the structure of Saturn. So, I'm not looking at this as a negative. I think we need to look at it always as a positive. And on another tack kind of thing, on a positive note, Saturn in Pisces can bring true brotherly love, sisterly love, and deep sensitivity and artistic expression, and spirituality and selfless love, mature trust in the higher self, and the honest willingness to pardon others and forgive them. So, this Saturn in Pisces, as I say, it will just be the beginning in March, but it will have, a massive effect, and I'm hoping it will be, as I say, a positive for the world. That's what we want. And on March the 10th, Jupiter, the planet, which is always about opportunities, is going to conjunct Chiron. And Chiron actually is in Aries. And Chiron in Aries is known as the trailblazer energy, where things get done, and people make things happen. So on the 10th, Chiron will conjunct Jupiter, and both connect to healing, both Jupiter and Chiron, and the fact that it's in Aries really helps us to push us to, forward, because Aries is a fire sign. And maybe it's about healing family wounds, because Chiron is always about the family wounds that have gone before. And usually somebody in the family um, is asked, maybe unconsciously, to heal those family wounds. So think about that, that Jupiter conjunct Chiron. And we may decide that now is the time to forgive whoever's upset us. And in this way, it releases other family members from the karmic wounds that can hold us back from a better future. And remember, Jupiter gives us the opportunity to do things differently. So don't let the past determine your future. I think that's quite important. And on March the 11th, we're going to have Venus conjunct Eris. So both Eris and Venus are feminine energies. And Eris, however, is a sister of Mars. And like Mars, she doesn't suffer fools gladly. She will make her presence felt and has lots of courage to stand up for what is just, really. She's fearless, in her pursuit of what is right and wrong. And she will go to any lengths, great lengths, to protect the underdog, even if it means a revolution. She's not bothered. But, she is conjunct Venus. Actually, Venus can be known to be can be aggressive as well. We always think of Venus as very sweet and demure, mainly because it rules Libra, and Libra people are very kind of into the balance and the harmony and seeing both sides. But this energy, I think we may see it playing out on the world stage as women say enough is enough. And we've had a bit of that already in the Middle East, when women were standing up for not wanting to wear the veil and the face covering. It's quite interesting. But on a personal level, just know that Venus conjunct Eris can help you if you need to stand up and defend the people around you. I think, on a personal level, that's quite important. So if something's happening on the 11th, personally, just remember that you can defend other people with that energy. So on the 14th, Mars is going to square Neptune. So Mars, as I've said before, is a fire sign, and Neptune is water. And a square is a challenge. So this can be a difficult transit. Watch out for deception or feeling like a victim, or being addicted to something or someone. Obviously, it's not a long transit. It will be here and gone, but it can kind of start something which lingers. So don't get addicted. Don't feel like a victim, and just double check everything that you're told on the 14th. On the 15th, 16th, we're going to have a triple conjunction between the Sun, Neptune, and Mercury. So, so this is going to be in Pisces. These are all in Pisces, the Sun and Neptune and Mercury. And so we could be confused. It follows on from the last one a bit. Or we may not be able to see the truth of what is really going on. So you need to watch out for people trying to deceive you. We can be indecisive about certain situations and wonder what action to take. So if that's happening, it would be a good idea to wait until the transit has passed. So wait, a few days if you're feeling indecisive or you're having to make a decision about something that's important. On the other hand, we could use this energy to create the kind of world we want to live in by using our imagination and doing some creative visualization, or the law of attraction. And if you're new to this concept, I have a free ebook. So if you would like a copy, just please contact me through my contact page on my website, which is astrologysue.com, and I'll send you a copy. The book is on the law of attraction and creative visualization, and it really does work. And you might be ahead of the game, you might have heard about this, but our thoughts are very powerful. And so we need to keep, it's a bit like keeping in a high vibe, what I was saying at the beginning. So, understanding that you can change the energy around you with your thoughts is really, really important. So on the 16th, Venus in Aries is going to square Pluto in Capricorn. So Pluto will make one of the last transits before it leaves Capricorn and moves into Aquarius. And Venus in Aries will square Pluto, and a square is a challenge. So relationships, there might be issues that could happen, as Pluto is about power and control. There could be power struggles. We may see this on the world stage as well, so look out for that. Venus also rules money, so money problems may appear. Again, we could learn about money, or the money situation could be revealed, or something could come up under this Venus square Pluto. And Pluto is about transformation, remember. So these areas may need some reflection so they can be transformed in some way. So that's, relationships and money, in your own life. But it might have an effect, as I say, on the world stage. So on the 20th, 21st, we've got the equinox, and the sun obviously moves into Aries, and it's basically the start of the astrological year. So it's an exciting time. I love it because it represents a brand new start. Some people feel this is more important than the new year, as it represents the astrological new year. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and represents, all things new. New shoots are showing, and the primroses, the snowdrops, and the bulbs start to appear. This is a time where we have equal day and night. And in the equinox chart, Mercury is conjunct the Sun, and together they trine transformative Pluto before it leaves Capricorn in 3 days. So that's very positive, because a trine is lovely, and so it looks as though there could be some kind of transformation. On the 21st, we've got the new moon, obviously in Aries, which brings even more energy, indicating new beginnings, and is at 1 degree of Aries, which is a special degree. 1 degree and 29 degrees are always very, very special degrees. And obviously some people have planets at those degrees, so gives them actually more power if they've got these planets at 1 degree or 29 degrees. But anyway, this new moon is 1 degree, and the next new moon after that is also in Aries, so it's very special, and that's at 29 degrees. So it's the end of March, and it's also a solar eclipse. But these new moons have, they have powerful energies. New moons are a time to plan your goals for the next 28 days. So use this energy to create what you want to happen in your life. It's really a time of writing down what you want, and then seeing if it's actually happening as the month progresses. Now on the 23rd, the long-awaited Pluto moving into Aquarius. It moves finally out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. until June the 10th, and then it moves back till 2024 into Capricorn to finish things like unfinished business. But we may get a flavour of how Pluto in Aquarius is going to work over the next 2 decades, which is a long time. You know, it's going to be there till 2040, and Aquarius connects to the community and working together to transform not only ourselves but the world around us. So I think when maybe we'll see a little bit of a flavour of it, but I think it's going to wake a lot of people up because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. It's all about the people. It's all about the community. And Pluto is transformative, as I said. So moving into Aquarius, it is likely that it's going to wake people up. Um, and there might be a lot of aha moments. We also might see innovative, unusual solutions to the world problems. Um, that would be great. And we may see technology highlighted and transformed because Uranus, which rules Aquarius, is all about technology. And Pluto, as I say, it just transforms things. Questions about the power struggles that seem to be manipulating the world may change, and a rebirth that brings more freedom to us all because Uranus, which rules Aquarius, is about freedom. So we're not we're going through this change, and it's difficult because when you're going from one thing to another, there's always chaos, and the old guard does not want to let go. So that whilst we're living through that, it can be very difficult and it can be very challenging, but know that it will be okay, that eventually we will come through this. And there are so many people in communities now growing their own food. There's farming that's being done differently. And, we've got the People's Health Alliance, we've got the People's Food and Farming, and we've got lots of other groups also doing very similar things. And so this is very Aquarian. This is very Pluto in Aquarius. This is about the transformation. And so, that's been highlighted really since 2021, really, when people started to kind of recognize that we couldn't continue in the old ways, that we had to look to the future. We had to, and actually Aquarius is future oriented. It's not, it's very about new and innovative ways to help people on the planet. So I think that's what Pluto and Aquarius is going to do. And it's very exciting. And let's see what happens because obviously it's going to be in there for a few months and then it's going to go back till 2024. But that's how it works. And it will be just going back to finish off what it started. So that's the 23rd, and I think the second half of March, that the energies are going to ramp up. I think, if you're looking in the right place, if you're watching the right people and watching the right channels, we're going to see a lot of Pluto and Aquarius type things going on. So, as lots of people are saying, it's an exciting time to be alive, although it feels sometimes very scary. Anyway, on the 25th, we've got Mars moving into Cancer after spending over 6 months in the sign of Gemini, and it will be there until the 21st of May. Mars has been directing its energy in an air sign. And this energy can help us get our point across. It helped us to be direct and on point and give us an ability to pursue things, lots of things at the same time. That's what Mars energy in Gemini allowed us to do. So Mars in Cancer is different. It's a different energy. So Mars in Cancer is imaginative, it's creative. It can do things independently because Cancer is what we call a cardinal sign, and it can be very ambitious. So it can work independently and with ambition, which is what we need. And this is because Cancer, as I say, is a cardinal sign and it loves to organize. But it is important to watch, don't be oversensitive or moody, because it could make, if you're a Cancerian or you've got Cancer moon or Cancer rising, it could work in that way. So, because naturally Cancerians are sensitive and are ruled by the moon, they can, be moody. And so Mars in Cancer can emphasize that. So just watch out for that. And on the 30th, Venus is going to conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And that's Venus conjunct Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus. It is really about freedom within your relationship, and it could be very important. And love relationships maybe could be unusual in some way, like you're with somebody but you don't live with them, which to most people seems a bit weird. But if you've got strong Uranus in your chart, aspect in Venus, then you're going to want a relationship, but you're going to want it your way, and you can't be tied down. And so it's likely that relationships could be different in some way. And Venus is in its own sign, and so it's stronger. It belongs in Taurus, and so you need to take this energy and use it to share love with others, in your family, with your significant other, in the community, and also don't forget to be kind to yourself. The self-love is also important, because you can't love others if you don't love yourself. I'm sure you know that anyway. And I did do a little reading, and I got the moon as the final outcome card. So the moon holds secrets. So I assume that more secrets will be revealed to us. Water is connected to the moon, and we've talked about that as Saturn is, moving into Pisces. It actually seemed an apt card to come up with. And the moon also connects to the feminine energy, which we need more and more of. And our intuitive side, our intuition, is really, really important. And actually, I think with Pluto going into Aquarius and Saturn in Pisces, I think we might get, more messages. We might get more clairvoyant anyway. And maybe this card is part of that. But we need to use our intuition, because we all have it to some degree or another. And it is an innate gift to the human race. And it is also about our inner world and how important that side of life is, and not the 3D, the 3D world that stops us from assessing the deeper side, the unconscious side of us. And so, yeah, I think this card is quite a good card to have at the end of the reading. And the affirmation is, love is all around me, and as I send it out to others, it flows back to me. So love is all around me, and as I send it out to others, it flows back to me. So I think that's really, really lovely affirmation. And yeah, I just want to say a couple of things. That obviously you can contact me through my Facebook page. I do put posts on Astrology Sue Fletcher, so have a look at that. I do a a discount for anybody whose birthday it is. So if you're a Pisces or an Aries, because we cover two months, I give a discount. So it's £85 instead of 105. So it's quite a lot, quite a good saving. So if you want to contact me, you can contact me through my Facebook page or on my contact page through my website. And I do courses on astrology as well, which you can see on my website. There are links to that. I do a couple of courses on a course platform, and I also do another course which is Revealing Your Life Purpose, which is a 6-week course, and that has been really successful. And so if you want to change your life, because now is the time, with this Jupiter going through Aries very quickly, we will have opportunities and we need to grab onto them whilst we can, because whilst we've got Jupiter going Aries, because when it moves into Taurus, that energy will have finished, and so doors will open, doors will close. So if you are in a state of flux or state of change, you might just want to read in to see where you're going, but you might also want to do my course. So yeah, let me know, and if there's anything else I can help you with, you know where I am. And I hope you have a fabulous March and enjoy all the energies that are coming. And I will see you at the beginning of April. So bye for now. Bye bye.